My name is Mahesh Bhaskar Hegde. I study at RV College of Engineering, Computer Science and Engineering branch, third semester. This is our assignment for Operating Systems course part B, in which we add a tracing system call to XV6, which prints every system call made by the process. The process can enable or disable this printing using this trace system call. There is also a flag to extend this printing to child processes created using fork or exec system calls. We walk through a list of code changes since the original code. We add a test executable which forks and tests which system calls are printed. We also add some instructions in this readme.md which shows up by default in GitHub, etc. We change the process initialization code. This is in alloc process function. We change the default state to untraced, and in the fork function we change the code to initialize the tracing state, this new process of traced field, to a value which is determined by tracing of current process and its on fork property. For this we have to add a field to struct proc, which is used to keep details about the process in the operating system. In the shell we add some built-ins to enable or disable tracing for all commands. If tracing is enabled, then before executing a command we use the trace system call, so that only the system calls made by the called process are printed and not the system calls made by the shell. A built-in command is a command that executes in shell itself. Instead of searching in the file system path and picking an executable, the shell has special case handling for this. For example, cd, which is implemented in original XV6 shell. cd is called by the shell only because it changes shell's state. Similarly, we check whether the commands are for tracing, trace command for example, then we short circuit the command execution and set the global shell state to enable tracing. So the main part of this assignment is adding a system call. In which we add a sys trace wrapper. It uses argint function to fetch the arguments from user passed parameters, and it retrieves the pointers to current process and sets its tracing property accordingly. We also add this trace system call to system call table, which is an array of function pointers which take no arguments and return an integer. We have an array of system call names so that we can print them with their names and instead of numbers. This is our main syscall function. This fetches the number in EAX register and calls the respective system call. We are copying the process name because in case the process is exec, then we don't keep the original process name in the process structure. So here this is from the original code only. This retrieves the system call number from EAX register in the traf frame. Here is our code. If the system call is exit, then we don't get to the stage where we get the return value. That's why we have to print it here only. This code handles this. Otherwise, if the process is traced, see, this exec system call is a special case. If it succeeds, then its return should have no meaning. It will return to the different memory image of the process. So in that case, we don't print the return value. This is using a ternary operator on format string. We pass other arguments as usual. We only don't use this return value if the system call is exec and it has succeeded. If the system call has failed, then we need the return value. It will be -1, then it has to be printed. There in the syscall.h, we define a consecutive integer for system call trace. We define these flags for system call trace, and we have a test executable which forks and runs some system call for sake of checking whether it's printed. This is close and open here. This will return -1 because this readme file does not really exist. The parent waits and the system call will also be printed. In main function, we check it with each combination of parameters for trace. The output will be accordingly. This trace system call we also add to user.h, which is a header file depended on by user space programs, for example echo and cat. In usage.s, this syscall is a assembly language macro which generates an assembly language stub to create a trap and call the kernel to handle the system call. Let's compile and run the code. Yes, we execute our test executable trd. At first, process has set tracing to on, but not for its child process. So only see the system calls made by this process only, which are fork, wait, and the trace to turn it off. And here even the fork is also traced, so we see the system calls made by both. Note that when the child exists, then we don't see the return value. So this is about one program. Okay, now we set on tracing. Before that, we see the execution of an echo. For example, it will just echo the arguments. We have made no changes to this program. As we saw in diff, there was no change to any of the user space programs. Now we enable tracing in the shell itself, and now we execute echo again. Now it has been printing this system calls it is making. When it is sh only, it has forked, shell has forked itself and it's sh at the moment, and it calls exec system call. Exec system call succeeds and therefore that does not return. Now the process name is echo, and it writes the character wise to terminal. In x86, standard input output are written character wise, and after writing hi and new line, it exits. Now we redirect the output. So the output is redirected, there is no output to terminal, but the system calls are same. The output redirection and opening this file are all done by the shell itself, and it's unknown to the command. Therefore, we don't see this in the output. Now we print the contents of new file. Yeah, this is an exec system call which is made by the shell. We can safely ignore this. Open has returned a file descriptor at 3 and read has returned 3 characters. This has been returned to the shell, and read again has returned 0. Unlike echo, cat is writing every line as read, which is obviously more efficient. The close has returned 0, that means closing the file has succeeded, and exit, it doesn't return any value. Now we remove this new file. It has been done by the unlink system call. We also try creating a directory, new dir. It is done by the mkdir system call. We remove the directory with the same command. In x86 there are some differences. In standard Unix we use rmdir command. Here we just use rm command only. It's unlink again. Now we set tracing to false, that's untrace, and again do echo. It's not showing trace output as intended, or it has shown the readme file without any system call output. That's it. Without changing the code of any process, we have managed to trace the processes. This is made possible because we added a onFork parameter to the system call trace. Thank you.